Devaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya. Naram Chaiva Narotamam. Devim Saraswatim Vyasam. Tato Jayam Udirayet. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Can you please put there the
verse? Yes.
the verse? Yeah.
Can you see, please?
Yes, I can see.
Okay.
Please go down. Botair Mahabir Yaima Purovibur Nirmaya Shete Yadamushu Purushaha Bontegunam Shodasha Shodashatmaka Solan Krishista Bhagavan Vacham Sime. Botai by the elements, Mahadevi of material creation, Ya, He who Ima, all these Pura, bodies, Vibhum of the Lord, Nirmaya for being set up, Shete, lie down, Yatamashu, one who incarnated, Purusha, Lord Vishnu, Bhunkte, causes to be subjected, Gunam, the three modes of nature, Sodasha in 16 divisions, Sodasha Atmaka being the generator of those 16. Saha, he, Alankrishista, may decorate Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Vachamsi, statements, me, mine. Translation and meaning, purport, by His divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. May the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who enlivens the materially created bodies of the elements by lying down within the universe, and who is His Purusha incarnation, causes the living being to be subjected to the 16 divisions of material modes, which are His generator. Be pleased to decorate my statements. Purport. As a fully dependent devotee, Shukadeva Goswami, unlike a mundane man who is proud of his own capability, invokes the pleasure of the personality of Godhead so that his statements may be successful and be appreciated by the hearers. The devotee always thinks of himself as instrumental for anything successfully carried out, and he declines to take credit for anything done by himself. The godless atheist wants to take all credit for activities, not knowing that even a blade of grass cannot move without the sanction of the Supreme Spirit, the personality of Godhead. Shukadeva Goswami, therefore, wants to move by the direction of the Supreme Lord, who inspired Brahma to speak the Vedic wisdom. The truths described in the Vedic literatures are not theories of mundane imagination, nor are they fictitious, as the less intelligent class of men sometimes think. The Vedic truths are all perfect descriptions of the factual truth without any mistake or illusion, and Shukadeva Goswami wants to present the truths of creation not as a metaphysical theory or philosophical speculation, but as the actual facts and figures of the subject, since he would be dictated to by the Lord exactly in the same manner as Brahmaji was inspired. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 15:15, the Lord is himself the father of the Vedanta knowledge, and it is he only who knows the factual purport of the Vedanta philosophy. So there is no greater truth than the principles of religion mentioned in the Vedas. Such Vedic knowledge or religion is dismissed by authorities like Shukadeva Goswami because he is humble devotional servitor of the Lord who has no desire to become a self-appointed interpreter without authority. That's the way of explaining the Vedic knowledge, technically known as the Parampara system or descending process. The intelligent man can see without mistake that any material creation, whether one's one body or a fruit or flower cannot be beautifully grown up without the spiritual touch. The greatest intelligent man of the world or the greatest man of science can present everything very beautifully only insofar as the spiritual life is there, or in so much as the spiritual touch is there. Therefore, the source of all truths is the Supreme Spirit and not gross matter as wrongly conceived by the gross materialist. We get information from the Vedic literature that the Lord himself first entered the vacuum of the material universe, and thus all things gradually developed one after another. Similarly, the Lord is situated as localized Paramatma in every individual being. Hence, everything is done by him very beautifully. The 16 principal creative elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, sky, and the 11 sense organs first developed from the Lord himself and were thereby shared by the living entities. Thus, the material elements were created for the enjoyment of the living entities. The beautiful arrangement behind all material manifestations is there made possible by the energy of the Lord, and the individual living entity can only pray to the Lord to understand it properly. Since the Lord is the supreme entity, different from Shukadeva Goswami, the prayer can be offered to him. The Lord helps the living entity to enjoy material creation, but he is aloof from such false enjoyment. Shukadeva prays for the mercy of the Lord, not only for being helped personally in presenting the truth, but also for helping others to whom he would like to speak. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyanam Janam Shalakaya Chakshuru Militan Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vandeham Shri Gurum Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Cha Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubheva Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Okay, let me put here because, okay, you give me here. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay. Those Glória Shila Prabhupada, we can see here is amazing, incredible explanation. And I live in India for the last 13 years. And the first 5 years, I observed that there is no one in India like Prabhupada. No guru, no professor. Nobody can explain this knowledge in this way like Prabhupada is explaining. Prabhupada was really, really empowered to bring this very important message, this very important knowledge that's not available anywhere. It's not available in any other book, any other parampara, any other group, religious group, anywhere. It's not there. It's only in SRIMAD Bhagavatam. It's only in the Vedas. And but India is confused and big. And Prabhupada said once, so much information in India became misinformation. This is his comment. And it's true. Everybody touches, everybody says something. We don't know what's the purpose of what they are saying. We don't know what they are doing. But then when you come to Prabhupada, and he made sure to represent the parampara, he made sure to represent the 6 Goswamis to be in the line of Lord Chaitanya. And how he explains, how he presents the logic, and how he's bold, his boldness is also very, very important when he says, look, this is a less intelligent men, they think like that. So many people nowadays, I tell many, yeah, not few, but many are thinking that when you present something, You have to present in such a way that you cannot kind of offend anyone. But there are another group of people that saying, look, without make some offense, you cannot defend a point. You know, so those who are not intellectual inclined, or those who are not studying, they're very sentimental. So they bring all the sentimentalism and all the things, you know, and then do a mess. But those who are really study not only Shastra, but they also do academic work, they also study, they are studying, they are capable to understand the greatness of Prabhupada. And even when Prabhupada is bold, even when it seems that Prabhupada is offending somebody, that's what a very special, powerful, incredible men, this is what they do. This is how they do. When they present the concepts, they're very bold. They are directly, and they're not afraid. Sometimes, how Prabhupada says, Prabhupada is saying the purport, less intelligent men, they are thinking like this, and arrogant men, they are thinking like this. They have different way of seeing things, background and behavior, and because of that, they are saying this way, in this way, in this way. So it's incredible. It's for everyone. A person in China can read this and become a devotee. A person in Bangladesh can read this and become a devotee. A person in Mexico can read this and become a devotee. We know very well all these places are very different. People have different understanding experiences. In Russia, they have communism, so they are different. Of people, they are Americans. They're completely something else. Freedom of speech, freedom of actions, capitalism. And then you go to Russia and completely different. And so many devotees are in Russia, and so many devotees are in America. How can you explain? So those who have a real experience, they know it's difficult to deal with the people from different background. They see life different. They speak differently. What is offense in India is not offense in US at all. They are different. But Prabhupada can speak to anyone everywhere. How is that possible? Prabhupada, he is the person. He's the Shakti Avesh avatar for Kali Yuga. He is the real representative of Lord Chaitanya. Without him, there is no possibility. So I'm telling you from my part, sincerely and directly, that anyone, especially from Gaudiya Mata, when they say that Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati, he was the one who makes the first devotee, I think this is just envy. This is just envy. Yes, okay. He sent some people. They're not successful. And don't talk about London only. We're not talking about that only. We are talking about the classes, Prabhupada's classes. We are talking about Prabhupada training, how he trained his disciples. We are talking about Prabhupada personal behavior, cooking, washing for people, accepting women, changing things. Not talking about, because Prabhupada send these couples to London, and Bhaktivinoda Saraswati disciples, they also did some disciples there, but there are only few. But actually, no, we're not talking only about that. We are talking with the whole thing that he did. We are talking about the temples that he established, his vision, his courage. Okay, you want to, okay, Tamal, go to China, go to Japan. We are not there yet. Surabi Das. I saw Surabi, 40 years anniversary. He died. He left his body. He was the one, the architect who designed the Vrindavana temple. He was preaching and collecting money in Japan. Other devotees still there. Guru Das. No, what's his name? I forgot. Something has to do with Guru. I forgot his name. Very famous. He was collecting money in Japan. So some people are there in Japan, some people could say, Prabhupada sent them there. They have no idea it could be done. They just went there.
Is it
So
Guru Kripa?
yes, thank you. Yeah, Guru Kripa, he's incredible. I met him in Vrindavan. Yeah, Guru Kripa Prabhu. Guru Kripa Prabhu, he was collecting to build Vrindavana temple in Japan. Yeah, very special personality. Yeah, Prabhupada was training, ruling, and guiding all these very powerful men, all of them, and all of them, they obeyed and loved Prabhupada. And after so many years, they felt that they are so fortunate. They feel nowadays they were very fortunate to get it done, to meet Prabhupada. They didn't feel that they were cheated or something else. Prabhupada was always balanced. Prabhupada always giving instructions directly to them, for their welfare and for the mission. So this is very, very important. Okay, Prabhu, please let's go to the purport. In the beginning, Prabhupada is saying that Shukadeva Goswami, he is invoking the blessings of Krishna before he starts. So I want to say something here, because this is only for devotees, that will help us to get more things done and get more achievements, spiritual achievements. As I said before, in this group, in the 10th canto of SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM, the Vishnus, when they appear to Brahman, Srila Prabhupada, I think Srila Prabhupada is still Srila Prabhupada, because Srila Prabhupada, he translated till the Brahma's prayers. He said that we lost the taste for having our material desires fulfilled, but instead of having material desires, we have spiritual desires. And the same pleasure that we have, the same we had before to achieve material things, we start to have to achieve spiritual desires. We have to have desires. Desires are not the problem. The nature of the desires are the problem, not the desires itself. You know, our Shastra is saying we cannot live desireless. It's not the objective. We are not Mayavadis. We are not impersonalists. We are not Buddhists. We are not. This is not our philosophy. We have a personality. We are individuals. We have talents, and we should have desires. And the desire will bring us out from the material world. The desire puts us in, and the desire will put us out. So this is Shukadeva Goswami's talent. This is Shukadeva Goswami's service. Is his service, and he's doing, and he is asking for Krishna's blessings, because he recognized that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. That's the difference between a person who is materialistic and another one who is a spiritualist. A spiritualist doesn't mean that you are a failure. Doesn't mean that you are not doing anything. You got no achievements. You're not creating. You're not doing things. This is not what we are. That we don't do actions. Spiritualist means we do things like Prabhupada did and so many people did, but we know what's the source of everything, the source of music, the source of inspiration, the source of creativity, the source of life, from where everything comes from. That's the devotee. He knows that. But it doesn't mean that I don't have to do anything. I'm not doing anything. Krishna doesn't want me to do this. Krishna doesn't want me to do that. And then I just live a life of laziness without achievement. Even, let's suppose, if a person is a good professor. If it's a good professor, what's the loss? If he's a devotee, he knows that Krishna is the source of all knowledge. So he's a good professor. And when everybody asks, so who are you? So I'm a Krishna devotee. And then this is a big preaching. If his tendency is to teach people, even if he is teaching biology, because biology means you are just studying the creation. And who is the creator, for God's sake? Krishna is the creator. So if you are a devotee, you are a spiritualist, and you are, you know that, and you have this knowledge inside you, and still you can explain science without being fanatic, you can make a lot of people taste. And this is a big preaching. So those who don't know, those who don't connect things, they are just unnecessarily separating one thing from another, ignoring their own nature, ignoring how useful, how dynamic they can be. Okay, so now Shukadeva Goswami is about to do an incredible service. He's about to speak, and he is asking for Krishna's grace, and he's recognizing that he is the source of all knowledge, of all wisdom, of all good qualities. And this is the difference between him and a mundane person. Not that you don't do anything, you are renounced because the material world will not bring anything good, and so then you don't do anything. Missing the opportunity to achieve your goals, to contribute. Don't miss your opportunity. Okay, please, you can go down. Okay, so then we are here. Prabhupada is very much amazingly explain that how Krishna is the source of Vedic knowledge. He knows everything, and he is telling Shukadeva Goswami is doing a service representing, thank you, representing his authorities. And he said, this is a parampara system. This is very important. The parampara system protects the conclusions, protect the knowledge. And the parampara system, he put out the manipulators. And you know what? Parampara system is not only spiritual. Everybody here who did some thesis, we know that you cannot create something new for nothing, that you have to have your source of research. So even materially speaking, it exists for honest people, where you recognize who is coming before in the chain of thought, how the subject that you present is explained. So also, materially speaking, the universities, they also have their system of presenting knowledge and conclusions, okay? So here, Prabhupada is saying we have our parampara, and parampara is our protection. We have to look for the parampara. For example, I advise the devotees, you want to go deep, you read Goswami's books, you read Bhaktivinoda Thakur's books. They are amazing, they are incredible, they are very deep. Don't go on other books because you're not sure what this person is. Okay, it doesn't matter what he's saying. For us in the West, we have Srila Prabhupada as representative. You want to go deeper, you go to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, you go to Rupa Goswami, you go to Sanatana Goswami, you go to Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates. They also have books. Go to them. And also, one time is not enough. At least 3 times you have to read all the books. Chaitanya Charitamrita, SRIMAD Bhagavatam, at least. Okay? The intelligent man can see without a mistake that any material creation cannot be fully grow up without the spiritual touch. Yeah, Prabhupada said that. Yeah, because it's logic. It's a logic. You know, a rascal cannot see, but an intelligent man can see. Something is there that I cannot explain. Something bigger than me, something bigger than the scientists, something bigger than all these material things that's going on right now. Something is amazing. They say that because they are honest. Okay, this purport was very, very good. Okay, Prabhupada is telling about the Paramatma that is everywhere, you know, and the elements, the 16 elements, you know, all the knowledge about the 16 elements, all the knowledge about the sense organs, and all this, the creation presented in Srimad Bhagavatam, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in so many books, they are they're very unique and they are complete. You know, they're very rare. Srila Prabhupada's books, they're very clear, and they're very good, and they are the only ones who explains that. You know, we know that. Okay, Prabhupada is telling this, there is a beautiful arrangement. This is, you know, bhakti. Bhakti sees beauty, not only science. And Srila Prabhupada is telling. No, bhakti and our parampara, they bring love. They bring love inside all this, you know, because the Lord is kind. The Lord is, he has a good taste, and he is a person. And this is a personal bhakti touch, you know, for everything. Very good. He is telling that his prayers is helping him and also others. You know, that's very, very nice, very nice put here, nicely put here. That, you know, it's not only for him, but he is asking for the Lord's presence. So anyone who is here together, they also can understand, and he is invoking Kripa Shakti. That is, I before I didn't know about Kripa Shakti, but Rupa Goswami explains that the energy of the Lord is called Kripa Shakti. That is an energy, it's called Kripa Shakti. And Kripa Shakti is the Shakti, the energy of mercy, Kripa, is described in so many scriptures, not only in the Vaishnava scripture. It's really recognized that the Lord, he is so good, he's so kind, and he's so merciful. Those who pray to him or recognize him, and they feel his Kripa Shakti. So he's invoking, oh Lord, please have mercy on us. We are not at all qualified to understand you, and we cannot understand. but till the limitation that we can understand, can you please help us? And this is so beautiful. This is Vandana. This is another process. How to pray sincerely. It doesn't matter, your situation, how good you are or how bad you are. For God, it doesn't have any value. He's not interested. He's interested how much you think about him and how you think about him and your motivation. That's how he is interested. So Prabhupada, he's a Bhakti Shakti person. When he is there, 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, telling who is Krishna. And now the way he's talking is so clear, is so bold, is so incredible. Of course, so many words that we are seeing there is coming from Parampara. But Prabhupada, he perfectly adjusts everything, to us to understand. I think that if we hear only Bhaktisiddhanta, for example, it's difficult for us to practice what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, his instructions, because they are very difficult for Westerners. But Prabhupada, after observing, the Westerners, and by reading and understanding, and he puts present this in such a way that we feel inspired to read and know more, and to understand, the Vedic version of spirituality. Spirituality, creation, the explanation from where we are coming from, who we are. Srila Prabhupada, he gives his inspiration. And of course, this whole inspiration and the way he's doing things, how he explains that, it comes from Krishna. It comes from him. He is like that. We feel Krishna's mercy through the spiritual master. In this case, through Srila Prabhupada, we feel Krishna infinite mercy towards us. He's very interested in us, very interested to free us, to make us understand. And by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, in Kali Yuga, it became easy. It became easy by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. For 10,000 years, it will be easy. It will be easy to catch. In the middle of all chaos, we understand, I have to leave this place. And before, people couldn't understand so easily. But now, because of the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, we can understand easy. Wow, this place is not for us. This place is not for us. Okay? So, I will open here for questions now and comments, please.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Grace Nitya Kishore Devi. Thank you for the class, and thank you for encouraging us all to hold on to the street of Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. So, dear devotees, if anyone has a question, comment, realizations, please, you may do so by raising your hand, your physical hand, or the hand emoji, and you'll be asked to unmute to speak. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Nitya Kishore Devi. There is this question I'm having trouble with, and that is Sri Krishna. Sri Prabhupada says in the purport that Krishna causes the living entities to forget about it. Let me see if I can find it. So I was a bit surprised when I heard Sri Prabhupada say that. Excuse me. Okay, the beautiful arrangement behind all material manifestations is therefore made possible by the energy of the Lord, and individual living entity can only pray to the Lord to understand it properly. All right, that is not the place, but let me just take it from here that Srila Prabhupada is saying here that without the Supreme Lord himself, it is not possible for us as living entities to understand the scriptures or to understand him, Krishna, properly. So what does that mean when others do not have Krishna as a person, but they have Krishna's representatives? Do they also help enlighten the devotees just as much as Krishna does? For example, in Islam, for example, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, we know he's not Krishna, but he's a representative of Krishna. And he is speaking and teaching people how to understand God. Since he is not God himself, can he and other prophets also help their followers to understand the scriptures and therefore understand Krishna and do the right thing?
What's the question? The last one that you say is the question?
The question is, can the living entities who are not Krishna also help devotees to understand Krishna? Because the Prabhupada is saying in the purport that only Krishna, who knows everything, can help the devotees to understand the scriptures and understand God. So the question is,
Okay.
if someone is not God, but trying to help others to understand God, is it possible?
Only Krishna. And how Krishna comes? Two ways Krishna teach the devotees, through Paramatma and through the spiritual master. That's explained by everyone. Okay? But you should consider as an intelligent person that also, according to Bhagavad Gita, there are religions in the three modes of nature: mode of ignorance, mode of passion, and mode of goodness. This is Bhagavad Gita. Religious in the three modes of nature. So then they have their own prophets, or they have their own leaders. But you cannot say that all the religions, because they are established or so many people are following them, that they are, how can I say, bona fide, or they are really good, or they are in the mode of goodness. You can't say that. People who follow some prophets, they end up committed suicide in America. So many. So if we have the grace to knowing a bona fide religious process and know Srila Prabhupada and Srimad Bhagavatam, our duty is to spread what is real religion. Especially in Srimad Bhagavatam, it starts with the religion who is not motivated materially. Oh, if you do that, and then you have this and this, and this is your next life. You have material, what's the name? Achievements. They're promising. So what kind of religion is this religion? What kind of spirituality is this spirituality? This is the same thing that everybody is doing. If you work very hard, then you get a good wife, you get a good house, you get a good husband, and then you get a good property, and blah blah blah. This is what they're saying. So you go to religion, say, oh, if you do sacrifice, then you go to heaven, and in heaven you have virgins with you, and you have this, and it's nothing spiritual. It is materialism. So, we have a Bhagavad Gita that is helping us to discriminate between what is good, what is bona fide, and what is not. Not like that also everybody is doing. Yeah, some religious so-called, they kill animals. What is this? They deal with ghosts. What is this? According to the Bhagavad Gita, is the mode of ignorance. If somebody wants to follow, we have nothing to do with that. But we know what does it mean. And also some others, they preach violence. They preach to the followers to be violent, to kill people. So what is this? They're not going to be liberated. They're not going to this is not a mode of goodness. This is not for liberation. We have to discriminate. We have to know. Discriminate means what's wrong, what's right, according to Bhagavad Gita. Yeah? And according to SRIMAD Bhagavatam also. Otherwise, yeah. Nowadays, this is foolishness that you cannot say what's wrong, what's right. There's no such thing. There is law, for example. Oh, like, let's suppose one devotee is committing some crime. And then, from past lives, or this happened to him, or this happened to her, or because of that, he's committed some crime, blah, blah, blah. Not talking about aparad, or some mistake, or some sin. You drink coffee, or you smoke cigarette, or drink some alcohol. No. We're talking about crime, violence, abuse, all those things. These are crimes prescribed in the penal code. They're crimes. There's nothing to do with some karma interpretation of you. It has to go to police. It has to go to police. So we have to understand that. We have to discriminate that. Not that we become sentimentalists. So, okay, you forgive them because they are devotees too. And Prabhupada said, somebody asked Prabhupada, what will happen to those who did something wrong and something in chant Hare Krishna? Prabhupada said, they will take the two things. They will take bad from their bad things, and they will take good from the chanting. So Prabhupada is already explained so many things. And Prabhupada Sikshamrita, or if you go to Vanipedia, you put there what Prabhupada says about this thing, and then you read there what Prabhupada said. He gives us explanation and guidance. But if some of us, although you have Tilak and Kantimala, we decided to watch news and believe in the news, that's our own problem. Because news, they changed. Next 10 years, they will say something. After 10 years, they will say something else. Always change. So if we decide to follow that, that's our consequence. So we have to discriminate. It's not because, they have thousands of followers, they may be right. No. What they are doing, what their philosophy. It's this and this and this. This according to Bhagavad Gita is the mode of ignorance. Or is according to Bhagavata, this is not religion. This is just not bona fide. Finished. If somebody asks us, not that we are going to challenge everyone in the street, and talk like that. We don't do this. This is a Bhagavatam class and an internal affair, Our affair is a study. It's like, it's of course, if you are in university, in the classroom, you are giving a class and you speak about the media, how the media does with people, how media manipulate people, and how you can be manipulated. You are doing this in the classroom. If you go to the media and then you are giving an interview, you're not telling them how they are manipulating people in the interview. That's normal. Everybody does. So this is a internal training, and we are telling everybody, look, you have to discriminate based on scriptures. But when we meet them, and then we make questions, and we are trying to clarify accordingly, so they don't feel challenged and offended here, in the hot seat. Because this is normal. We have to be intelligent. Prabhupada was always very, very sharp, doing things, doing contracts, talking to Indians, talk to the Indian politicians, talking to politicians around the world, ministers and people from other religion. Although Prabhupada challenged that a father, he says, why you kill the animal? Why you eat meat? Because Jesus never said to eat meat. Prabhupada was challenging him, but they were just like talking many days. It was not a short conversation, and they were just, it was a meeting. It was not in public also. But Prabhupada challenged these people. Okay? I hope it's clear.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for the explanation. But
Thank
the follow-up question is, Krishna wants us all to remember him. We are all sons and daughters of Krishna, and we are here suffering. He does not want us to suffer. And Srila Prabhupada quoted Sarvasya Chaham Hriday Sanivishta 15:15, Bhagavad Gita 15:15, where Krishna says he's seated in everyone's heart. From him comes knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. So how is it that some people are helped by the Supreme Lord as super soul in the heart to remember him, and others, they forget about him? Even though the Lord wants everyone to remember him and go back to him. But without him helping one to remember, no one can remember him. So what is the qualification for someone to be blessed by the Lord to remember him? And what are the things one may do that the Lord may not help him to remember him? Hare Krishna.
This is our desire. What makes Krishna remind us of him and not, it's our desire. This is the reason why we work on desire. The desire put us here, and the desire will take us out from here. As soon as we change our desire inside, nobody can see. It's very intimate, and it's completely internal. It's a secret. Only we know inside our heart what we really want. How many material desires are still there? How many things we want to fulfill? How many confusions are still there? And how much of us as a soul, as a conscious, wants to get out of this material world and remember Krishna? So that will make Krishna decide what to do with us. You know, it's not like he is pushing. He's not pushing. He respects what we are doing, and he respects us as a person. You know, the spiritual masters, they say to us, Krishna has everything. What he doesn't, our love. And he doesn't want to force anybody to love him, because this is his nature. You see, Krishna's nature is so amazing. It's everything we dream as a person. Krishna is the perfect person, and whatever Krishna is, we love what Krishna is. Krishna, he loves us, but he is fully detached. It's incredible. So it's like a perfect love that we want to have in this material world, and it's not possible because it doesn't exist here. But we'd love to have that. Somebody who loves us and is still detached. The parents, Prabhupada explained, and also the acharyas, Prabhupada explains, and also the acharyas, that the mother's love is closer, is closer to Krishna's love, you know, and how he behaves. Krishna's behavior is only about so much love. And for us, we don't know these loves. It's inconceivable. It's inconceivable for us to understand how a person that loves so much, how the person behaves, if this person is Krishna, if this person is the perfection, is if he is God, how he behaves. So Krishna made this material world so beautiful and comfortable. Because you want to go there, okay, you go. I'll make the best for you to go. I want to cry when I speak like that. I want to cry. Can you imagine such a thing? I want to be far from me. It's like, if you are husband and wife, and then she said, I don't want to live with you anymore. And then you say, okay, I will make such a beautiful house for you to live, for you to try to enjoy, but without me. Just go, okay. Can you imagine? Nobody does that. Nobody. There is so much hate and no patience, nothing like that. But Krishna, he's saying, I will give you a planet, I will give you family, I will give you, many, many chances and lifetimes and adventures, wherever you want, I'll give you, and then you come here. And you can't say that everybody is suffering and is not suffering all the time too. There are, sometimes suffering, sometimes happiness, and like that. It's not all the time the same. So, and you can breathe, and there is a sunny day here, and it's very calm where I am in my mother's house in São Paulo in Brazil. It's very calm, and the climate is perfect, and they're full of plants everywhere, and
Mm.
there is silent, completely silent. I'm outside and it's completely silent, and that's it. If you can appreciate the present, and then you understand, wow, Krishna made this like that. But we're so we are the problem, because we're so unbalanced, and we are so not in balance, that we can't say, and then we can't get advantage of what we have. So much anxiety, and we want this but we not have, and then we want something else, and this is our problem. So Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, be okay, be calm, be self-controlled. Oh, my mind is letting me crazy. And Krishna says, okay, you want to, I tell you how to control the mind. I'll tell you, like by practice and by detachment, you can control the mind. Okay, the mind is disturbing you, and then, okay, don't be disturbed. Be like that. Who is this person? Who is this person? It's an incredible person. So what you're saying, yeah, he wants us to remind him of, if we don't want, and then he said, okay, I'll give you something else. And then you go with something else till you're tired. Oh, you're tired. You want to come now. And then we say, yes, I want to come. And then Krishna gives you knowledge. And then he inspires you. He brings you to books, to devotees, to magic, to everything. Then you can realize who is him. Yes or not? This is this way. This is the way. This is how it's happened. This is easy. Easy to understand.
So we have to be very mindful of our desires. Our desires, like you said, God as here is the same desires can get us out of here. So
Yeah, Prabhupada said, what Prabhupada said, Prabhupada repeated Rupa Goswami. And what Rupa Goswami said, that you have to be eager to know Krishna. And Prabhupada said, how you can develop this eagerness? He said, by associating with those who has eagerness, by listening from them, by seeing them, by walking with them, by talking to them. Those who have bhakti, they can give bhakti to you. That's Prabhupada's words. And then he said, this is the reason why we founded the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, to give people Sangha. That's a very interesting class. I can send you 60 minutes class. Amazing Prabhupada's class. I can send you. You can share with everybody in the group. It's
That is
60
good.
minutes. Amazing. I heard this class maybe 50 times. It's my favorite class. You love that class. You love it. It's incredible. Okay, so this is the way to develop not by forcing,
Mm.
by association. Not in Krishna consciousness is by faking or by forcing. We have 9 process of devotional service. And by practicing this process, Krishna consciousness will develop naturally in our heart, in our consciousness. This is the way. There is no magic. There's no magic. The magic happens, like Jamuna says, when you practice the process, because you can't see how it happens. It happens inside your heart. When you see, you are changed up person. We changed up. All of us, we are here. We changed up by Krishna's grace, by Prabhupada's grace, by practicing the process. Otherwise, we are the same person. We are not the same at all.
Mm. Well, thank you so much for the answer. Anyone else with something to say, something to share?
No, I think they're shocked.
No, Aditya Prabhu is here. Aditya Prabhu, please you may unmute.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Mata, thank you very much for your class. And thank you, everybody.
Haribo.
My question is a follow-up to the first question that Sahadev Prabhu asked. And when you were answering, you were talking about somebody who will teach you some process that says that you will get money. Somebody will teach you some process that says you will go to have something to heaven or someplace. And this is not the right thing. It's a cheating religion. And so my question is, then Krishna himself also said that 4 kinds of people look for me. Those who are looking for money, wealth, those who are inquisitive, those who are in distress, and those who are actually looking for transcendental knowledge. So if Krishna himself is saying that some people come to me because of money, some people are looking for me because of money, how do we reconcile that? And the second quote, Krishna says that he says, everyone follows my path in all respects. And all of them, as they surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. So how do we reconcile these 2 verses, statements that Krishna has made to the answer you gave to Sahadev's question?
The answer for the first part of your question.
Yeah, the
That
first question that he asked, whether
yes,
somebody, if somebody is
4
not Krishna.
kinds, yes, 4 kinds of people are looking for me. 4 kinds of pious. They are pious people. Those who are demoniac, how they look for money? By stealing, by killing, by cheating, by all the means, all the bad means. But those who are pious, Krishna says, these are pious people. They are looking for him, and then they are getting money, and then they understand, oh, this is not what I really wanted. This is not what they will realize this is not what will make them happy. But in the beginning, they are looking for money by asking God, not by doing anything else. So how you can like knowing that these leaders or this group, the religious group, according to Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, they are in different modes of nature, tamagun, rajagun, sattvagun, or they are cheating religious because they are materially motivated. For those who are looking for money and God at the same time, they are pious, but they have desires. Akama, sarva kama, va moksha kama, udarati Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajeta Purushamparam. At least they are pious. And Akama Sarvakama, Akama, no desires, Sarvakama, with all the desires. Or I want to leave this world. Moksha Kama. Moksha Kama Udara de Tivrena, intensely. Tivrena Bhakti Yoga. You practice Bhakti Yoga. Yajeta, you worship Purushamparam, the Supreme Lord. It doesn't matter which stage you are. It is there, Harichakra Prabhu. These are two different things. One thing, if you are a religious, a spiritual teacher, and you understand, or you are practiced person and you understand, oh, this is this, you have discrimination to understand. Another thing is what people do, if they are pious or if they have desires, or how they engine and the dynamics of the material world. Those who have desire, no desire, and is low, they change their minds and they think, oh, this is not what I want. How many people are like that? They want, and they achieve everything, and then they say, oh my God, this is not what I thought it was. They are in their own process, okay, of achieving liberation or spiritual understanding. But at the same time, we have to discriminate and understand what is what. So one thing doesn't mix with another. Okay, your question is very good. I appreciate it, and your point was very nice. But also for me to tell this, that one thing doesn't mix with another thing.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much.
Is that clear?
Harichakra Prabhu, I think, is he still there? Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. But like what I was trying to arrive at is that, like you rightly said, that people, because the way I understood Sahadev's question, if I'm right, Sahadev was asking that some Prabhupada is saying that it's only Krishna who can teach you how to come to him. Krishna is only Krishna who can reveal knowledge to you. And Sahadev is saying that, what about, does that mean that somebody who is not Krishna, somebody who is human, he is not Krishna, can he also not teach you the ways by which you can go to Krishna? And that is the question. Sahadev, is that not the question you asked? Yeah. And the way you were answering it, the way I understood your answer was that if some people are teaching other people the way to Krishna, and they are talking about if you worship God like this, you get money. If you worship God like this, you go to heaven. If you worship God like this, you get. If I heard you right, then I heard that you said that is a cheating religion, and that's the reason why I asked the question. That what
Correct.
about Krishna himself saying that some people even come to me because he said these four people come to me. One of them is the one who is actually looking for me, Krishna. The other one is someone who is distressed. He's in problem. That's why he has heard that if he goes to Krishna, his problem will be solved. So he's going to Krishna because of his problem. Another person is thinking, oh, I heard that if you go to Krishna.
Put this in your mind. Put this in your mind. They are pious, as I said. Pious people, they look to solve problems, their material problems, with the help of God. Those who are demoniac atheists, they don't look for that.
Yeah. I perfectly understand that portion. I perfectly understand that portion. But we are talking about
the spiritual
religious. We are talking about religious groups. We are not talking about demons. We are talking about people who wants to serve God. That's why I'm not bringing in the demonic aspect. I'm saying people who are desirous of serving God, but they have motives. Some of them, their motive is that they want money. Other people, their motive is that they want their problems to be solved. Other people, their motive is that.
Prabhu, sorry. First, they have their needs. to fulfill their needs. Instead of going buy a gun and try to rob the bank, they pray to Lord, please give me a job, please give me better facilities. And then they think, I think I better go to church and pray to God to get wealth. They're pious. You know, this is a very important point.
All right.
We
Yeah.
should be
All right.
we,
All
we
right.
should be very
Thank
yeah
you. Thank you.
yeah we should
Yeah.
be practical when we how can I say, when we think about things, say how this is happening, how is this happening like that. Somebody needs a job and needs wealth and needs to develop, and then they go to church and then ask for help. They're not thinking, I am the one, I am, the pious people, they do that. We have to understand that. And then of course, this is what will be achieved. It will be a mix of the both things, but they're still pious. They are cultivating piety. They are not doing sinful activities. So after some time, they will come to conclusion that God is not this way to find God. The really spiritual, how can I say, spiritual understanding. We are not coming in this way, but it's also a way. We can't say that's not a way. Krishna says it's a way. It's a way. And Sahadeva says, "Oh, the living entity can show God." Well, those who are empowered, yeah, they can show, like Prabhupada and the acharyas and the guru and Jesus Christ and other people, they're empowered by God. And Prabhupada said that everywhere, Paramatma, Krishna manifested through Paramatma and the guru, both ways, for guiding us, for guiding. When you want to go, really, you want to advance spiritually, but when you want material things, and then there's so many things that you can do, or so many things that will happen, and like that. It's a mess. It's chaos. This is Kali.
Yeah.
This is Kali.
Well, Hare Krishna, thank you so much for the answer. I think, sorry, Ajaka, yeah, speaking?
No. I said thank you. I was
Oh,
saying
okay.
thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
I think it was very appropriate when Nitya Kishore Devi, you made reference to Bhagavad Gita and SRIMAD Bhagavatam and what these two particular scriptures say about different categories of religions.
Exactly.
So,
No, we should do that. We should always, like Prabhupada said, that we have parampara system. We shouldn't create any conclusion. The conclusion is already there. This is very important. All of us, we have to look for that in the speaker. They have to answer based on the Shastra and the acharyas. That's what they have to do.
Yeah, so I wanted to share this sloka which Prabhupada quoted several times. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text number 2. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavad Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold mysteries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. So my understanding when the scriptures talk about cheating religion is not a waste per se, because whoever is following any religion, especially bona fide religion, is having contact with Krishna. But because most of the time, most of the practitioners are not chasing after the essence, it's considered cheating because they cheated their own lives by not getting to the highest point. But it's not a waste because, like Mother NITYA KISHORE was saying, it's a stepping stone. Gradually, we
They
will
are,
grow.
yes,
Yeah,
they are, they are on the, Krishna is
on,
saying,
on the path.
Krishna is
Yeah.
saying, they're on the path. Krishna is saying they are pious. And after that, in Bhagavad Gita is saying, without being pious, that Prabhupada says, nobody can approach Krishna.
Yeah.
So there is nothing wrong to be pious. It's better than be impious.
Hmm.
You know? Yeah.
I mean,
So it's
I
very
was
high. Let
sorry.
me clear something.
Yeah,
Let me
go
clear
ahead.
something. Sometimes we say it doesn't matter piety or non-pious, because piety only give you material stuff, and then I think this is mentioned, but not so many times, and this is a very high concept. Very high, like yeah, difficult to deal with. So there are certain things that we brought to ourselves, some very high concepts that we have difficulty to understand, like this concept. It doesn't matter which mode you are, because all the modes, they are all in the material world. We say that, but we have to leave the tamagun and go through the higher modes in order to leave the material world. But this happens naturally by the 9 process of devotional service. It happens naturally by the 9 processes of devotional service, because we are not looking for goodness separated from Krishna. But it does not mean that we shouldn't be in goodness. I'm telling you that in Mayapur, one friend from America, she went to rent an apartment, and 2 devotees, a couple, were living there, and they are devotees. They were living in Mayapur, and their house was full of rats' poop everywhere, in the kitchen, in everywhere, and it was full of garbage and dirty. So it means that these people would wake up in the morning, put kantimala and tilaka, and then go into the temple and leave the house completely dirty. And this is we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't think that because we are going to the temple and clap, we should not clean our houses. What is this? So there are certain things that we are thinking we are free from, but we are not. We should practice the cleanliness. Prabhupada said cleanliness is near to godliness, to God, to God. Prabhupada said that. So we should do that. Sometimes we just we're thinking that, oh, we don't have to do that. We are how can I say, we are free from everything because we are chanting, and it was a big mistake. We did so many mistakes based on this misconception. So we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that. We should try our best to be better human beings first. Mistreated people in the name of the mission, and this was a very bad move that we did. The everything is the mission is most important than anybody else. Then what our many of our leaders they did? They mistreated people, they dismissed people, they didn't help people when they needed help. Like you are in the temple for 10, 12 years doing book distribution, and then you get sick, and then when we are sick you go to your mother's house. Why we don't have health insurance for book distributors? for pujaris? Why you don't take care of people? We are thinking that, oh, this was the mercy for you that we got so many years of devotional service. Now that you are old and you are sick, then you go somewhere else and somebody else take care of you. Or you go and beg for your health care. That's not correct. We shouldn't treat human beings like that. We should be humans before being spiritual. Like Prabhupada said. Prabhupada also said that Prabhupada said, Vaishnavas is superior to Brahmanas. Prabhupada said that. Somebody was asking him, I don't know if you know this class, and Prabhupada said, a judge, before he's a judge, is a lawyer. So he studied law, and then he became a lawyer, and then he became a judge. Prabhupada said that. So before somebody becomes a Vaishnava, it becomes a Brahmana first, with the Brahminical qualities. This is the way, not like that you reject the Brahminical qualities. And it's not important because you're already there. You're already there. This is the way we did so many things. You're already there. So you don't need anything. You don't need to respect. You don't need to be human. You don't need that. No, you need everything first. Yes or not?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mother NITYA KISHORE. As we were talking about different people approaching God, and you reminded us of the important adjective, pious. They are all pious. And I was reminded of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj initially was interested in having a kingdom much greater.
Very good.
And that
very
of
good remembrance. Very good example.
Yeah, but after he saw the Supreme Lord, he says, no, I don't want it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. He said, what I'm looking for? My God, I love you. I want you. I don't want this anymore. This is useless. He is very pious, but he wants what I want. I want my kingdom. Ask Narayan. Okay, where is he? In the forest. Okay, I'm going to the forest and ask Narayan for my kingdom because this kingdom is mine. I want the king. At least he's honest. And then he found Krishna. Yeah. Kavi Karnapur.
Yeah,
what a name.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you for coming. I salute. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your practical lecture. We always appreciate. So I was just, when you were talking about this devotee being practical before we become transcendental, also is I get touch again. So I said, let me say something. Just like you mentioned, and Prabhu was citing the story of Dhruva Maharaj. Many of us during our process of growing in spiritual life, we throw all this practicality out and we just want to become transcendental. And many of us were so much transcendental and we mistreated each other and we are not caring for each other and everybody was going here and there. And towards the end, everybody is leaving their body in isolation, which is very, very painful. So I think we should be, like you say, let us become humans first, then we can become a devotee. Because all the four regulative principles is for us to become humans. And so it's very, very important that, like also you mentioned about desire also, which is very important. Some devotees, they don't need material desires. Some devotees, they need. Like, for example, there is this new devotees in where I'm staying, where we're just trying to cultivate. He has desire. You can see him that is, he was wealthy before, he has money before, he was working, but everything just changed suddenly. Now he need money. Now you are preaching Krishna consciousness to him. He's just telling you, I need money. You cannot say you should not give up everything and just think of Krishna. How is he going to think of Krishna? He has family. So, so gradually we are trying to put him through. Okay, it's good to have desire, but we have Ekadasi. That is why the materialistic aspect of Ekadasi is here. If somebody can follow Ekadasi very, very sincerely, seriously for the whole year, not only that he will become purified to think of Krishna, he will get his material desire fulfilled. So all these science and
not only by Ekadasi, but by chanting with offense, you get material opulence.
so yes.
That
So
I am from Mayapur. We know very well. We know very well this. You know, so Krishna consciousness comes with everything. It's a very short. It's a very short. It's a shortcut to the latest. But it doesn't mean that the rest should be ignored. Exactly. And we, you know, by treating each other like we also we became so heavy with ourselves. So usually what we practice to ourselves is what we do to others. So when we were so heavy in our own problems, like, oh my God, I'm not perfect. Of course not. I have this problem, that problem, that problem. And we look the problem, always the problem in ourselves, not good qualities we look in ourselves. Because for us, good qualities means that you are proud of yourself, that you are thinking you are better than others. So many things we are thinking. So then so many misconception we had. So then we look only for defects in ourselves. Because of this practice in ourselves, naturally, we do this to others too. So when we look at the devotees, instead of seeing their good qualities, we are seeing only their defects. And you know, it's impossible that you don't have any defect. Everybody has some flaws. It doesn't matter. We have to put our mind to appreciate ourselves. Okay, I have problem. Okay, but what otherwise you even cannot serve without knowing what you can do good for Krishna. So we have to be more forgiving to ourselves. We have to look for ourselves, appreciate ourselves, practice that, and do this to others all the time. See their good qualities, see what they are doing for Krishna. Not we see what people are not doing. Why are we like that? We see what they are doing, not what they are not doing. Let's suppose somebody doesn't like to change japa. Some people doesn't like to change japa, but they are going to the temple and cut sabji or cleaning and cook. They're doing that, but they are not change japa because they don't like. Some people they don't like. But we, instead of saying, oh, this is very good what you are doing. Wow, you clean all this, you cut all this sabji. Oh my God, that's amazing. We don't say that. We're saying, okay, this is very good, but why are you not chanting? You have to chant because chant is good for you, blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. Leave it. The books are saying that. If this person doesn't listen to the books, we're not listening to you. You have nothing to do with that. So the Sangha, our Sangha, this is the reason why we have so many problems with our Sangha, especially because of that. If we start to practice the appreciation, things will change. And we have to. There is no other way. There is no other way.
Thank you very much. We have to start appreciating ourselves and appreciating others. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate yourself first. It's a practice. Okay, so Sahadev Prabhu.
So much.
Can we finish here? You happy?
Yes. Thank you so much for the class. Always. And dear devotees, we thank you all for your participation and attentive hearing. And at this point, we're going to humbly request you all to kindly unmute. And we all chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra to express our appreciation to our revered speaker, Her Grace Nitya Kishore Devi Dasi Ki Jai. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Panchakama Sangacha Kripa Sindhya Ivacha Tirti Pavanam Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha.
Sitanam Pavane
Ananta
Vibhyo
Koti Vaishnava
Vaishnavyo
Vrinda Ki
Namo
Jai.
Namaha.
A Grace
Prabhupada.
Nitya Kishore Mataji Ki Jai.
Hey.